Hey, welcome back. Okay, so it's fall, and I have a post on the playlist about processing pumpkins, and so I think I told you in that video that I have more pumpkins processed. So I've done that today. I've got some more in here in the oven roasting. But what I wanted to talk about, really, the point of this video is the pumpkin seeds, and so. If you remember before when I processed the pumpkin, I put all my pumpkin seeds and the guts of the pumpkin, the stringy stuff, into a bucket. What I've done here is same thing with those pumpkins. It's in the bucket, and I've added some water. And what's going to happen? That is going to help me sort the stringy stuff, the pulp, if you will, the inner piece of the pumpkin from the seeds. And so I'm going to let this sit for a while, and it'll help me when I go to separate out the seeds. And so that we'll come back later and talk about some more in just a little bit. All right, thank you. All right, to catch us up on this, we are processing pumpkins, and so we have pulled the seeds and the guts out of the pumpkin and put them in a bucket, and then we took the pumpkin itself and put some oil on it, roasted it in the oven. And so now we're going to separate the seeds from the pulp. And so I've already done some of this today, a little bit earlier, so you wouldn't watch me go through this whole bucket. But really, you have to you need to get your fingers dirty, right? And so you just drag up a handful of seeds, and what'll happen? You can see this where that pulp is. You can see these seeds are just sort of dangling by the pulp, and you just take and just break them off, sort of squeeze them, and they will break away from that pulp because it is actually attached to the end of the seed, that little pointy end of the seed right there. And so you can do that and just put your pulp in your pulp bucket and keep going through it like that till you get the pieces of pulp out and you're left with seeds. And so we put it in the water and left it overnight to help that separation process. I have read where folks will boil the pulp seed mixture, and they say that helps get rid of it. Another thing that I like to do is take a colander. See, when you take the colander, you can see some pulp and just pull it right out. But what happens is some of this pulp sticks to the seeds more than other pieces does, and so it's hard to get it off. And so what I'm going to do is take a handful of seeds, put them in here, pull out the big pieces of pulp, and I'll be left with smaller pieces of pulp that we can actually use the colander to help us separate. And so we'll put some more in there, and so we turn the water on and just sort of mill them around in your hand. And what's happening is the pulp is coming off, and it'll fall down into the slots on the colander. Some of it will, the big chunks won't. And so you're just separating the seeds from pulp, and sort of just grab them in your hand and squeeze them, and you'll squeeze the pulp away from them, and pretty soon, your pulp will be separated. You can pull out the big pieces, and you'll be left with just seed. There's a big piece of pulp right there. Again, it uses a lot of water. You need a lot of water if you on a homestead. I'd recommend that you drill a well rather than trying to pay for your water all the time, because it seems like every time you turn around living out here, you need more water. So you can see how the pulp is separated from these seeds. Turn that off. And so there's a little bit left. I've got some seeds in there. I have to sort them out. But you can see how most of the pulp is separated from these seeds, and it's just seed. And what we'll do next, it sort of irks my bride a bit, but some seeds you can dry the seed on a paper towel. I do that with tomato seeds and okra seeds and those kind of things. The smaller seeds. A seed like a pumpkin, I believe it has so much surface area that when it dries on that paper towel, it actually sticks to the paper towel. And then you've got, paper towel on your seed that you're going to roast. And so I like to use these tea towels. Uh, it's a sort of a towel that doesn't have lint that comes off of it. And so just lay them out on a countertop is what I do, and rest your seeds on it, uh, and just let them set, spread them out, let them set until they dry. And what will happen? I actually dried these this morning. I separated these out this morning, and they're just dried pumpkin seeds that you have here. And so they set on the countertop most of the day today, and now they're dried pumpkin seeds. Now, what do you do with dried pumpkin seeds? Well, you take and you roast them. And so what you'll do, or what I do, is take the seeds, and you want some kind of flavoring, and so you need like a liquid base to help the flavoring stick to the seed. If you put salt and pepper on that seed and put it in the oven to roast, it's not going to come out, with salt and pepper stuck to it, because the seed is sort of, it's dry. It's not really sticky. And so what I do, I'll take maybe 2 tablespoons of butter or maple syrup or honey, something like that that's a liquid, and add to that. You can add salt and pepper. Butter and salt and pepper is good. Butter and garlic, just some garlic. Either, you could use some powdered garlic, some garlic salt, or you could probably mince some garlic and get the flavor in that way. Another good one would be like maple syrup, and some like a pumpkin pie spice or an apple pie spice, something with the that nutmeg kind of flavor. That would be good. Also, chilies, a paprika, chili powder. You might could, if you take some crushed red pepper flakes, and make them a powder, closer to a powder, that'd probably work out well. But anyway, multiple different ways you can flavor them, and you just put them in the oven at 300 degrees for about 40 minutes. Keep checking them. They'll turn a light brown, and then they'll be ready, and they'll be dry and ready to separate and eat. So using all of the fruit, all of the vegetable, most of we're not using the rind of the pumpkin. It's going into the compost bin, so I guess we are. But we're using the pulp to make breads and those kind of things, and then we're using the seed to make snacks. So using most of your vegetable, that's what works for me mostly.